Tracy Lords, though, looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we thought about her, but then we're like, she has not had anything to do with anything related to porno with the word porno near it in 20 years and whatnot. So it was a long shot. We asked her agent, and he's like, he's got porno in the script. She ain't going to read it. Then she heard that Rogan was in it, so she came over to the house to read the script. And then I sat around talking to her for 3 hours, and her issues were very real. She's like, look, it's funny, and I would love to be in it, but, like, I have had nothing to do. I kept that life at arm's length at this point for the last 20 years. She's like, I haven't made porno in 20 years, and still, when my name comes up, people immediately associate it with porn. She's like, so, I don't know, maybe I can embrace it and just make fun of it. Maybe it's time to just kind of stop running from it, embrace it, make fun of it. I was like, please do it and do it in this movie. And the weirdest thing was, like, she literally sat in my living room at the bar with me for 3 hours, chit-chatting. And the whole time, I'm just.
I was going to say the same thing. We're all guys. Like,
totally. That's what I like. I was wishing that I could get in a time machine, go back in time, tell the 16-year-old version of me, like, one day Tracy Lords going to be in your house and your parents are not going to be home.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm sure the 16-year-old version of me would be like, where did you get a time machine?
Well, if
and
you
why'd
do,
you waste it on this?
Take this with you.
The sports almanac.
It's the great sports almanac. And please, make me some money.
Where did you
I
get
would
this,
love to
dude?
go to the Biff Tannen Museum.
One of the
and
listeners.
see, instead, it is turned into the Kevin Smith Museum. One of the listeners knows I'm a big Back to the Future fan.
Is this
so,
authentic?
I don't know.
The guts are not, but the cover is definitely.
The cover's great, and it's got the receipt in it. I don't know where he got it, but it's just a cool thing to have.
Blast from the past. This is pretty
It's
phenomenal.
just a great thing to have. I get like every Back to the Future thing. Somebody gave me a graduation ring from the high school from Back to the Future. What was it actually? Hill Valley? Yeah, Hill Valley High School.
I love
got the
that
graduation ring and stuff.
Do you love that movie or do you love all three?
The third one I could, live without.
Third one's a little rough.
It's there.
Well,
but,
once they go to the Old West, you're like...
Yeah. It's like, what?
I got no
lost me.
connection to this.
You lost me. I don't care about that anymore. But, the first one and the second one are great.
Remember the second one where he, like, goes to the alternate Biff run future?
Yes.
And his mom has this insane rack?
Big set of cans. He made her put these things inside. And Biff is just over-the-top Biff.
Biff becomes like Lex Luthor at that point. He stops resembling a human being, and he's just Lex Luthor of Hill Valley.
What are you talking about, McFly? Like, he's over-the-top Biff.
And he's got, like, a friend with bionics in him and stuff.
Yeah, wearing that weird metal hat.
Yeah.
And then in part one, when he's waxing the car,
right,
and they're all hanging out in the living room, and everything's cool because they kind of fix things. It's like, oh, that Biff. Me and your mom never would have met if he didn't try to rape her in the car.
Isn't that weird?
And it's like, why are you having this guy around waxing your vehicles? It's like, that crazy Biff.
I understand, like, wanting to punish and or torture the guy.
Yeah.
But, like, it's such a mild form of punishment where you're like, wash my car, as opposed to, like, now, Biff, you need money, and I want to humiliate you for what you did to my Lorraine.
Yes.
So we're gonna anally render you absolutely useless with a series of injections and shots in my garage, and that'll kind of make up for you almost date raping Lorraine.
Totally.
Not like letting him wash the car, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, boss. I'm sorry."
Yeah. Sorry. Hey, your book's here. Your book's here. It's like, all right, you're the guy that tried to rape my wife. It's like
it is an uncomfortably creepy relationship to keep that dude around, man.
They really like it, and that's an odd thing about comedies back then. Like it was Spielberg. It was a huge, big budget movie. Yeah, Zemeckis directing, and like they get one scene where it's like, "Hey, beat it, spook."
Yes.
Like the language in it and some of the undertones that were going on in it are like, wow, it's pretty tough for a comedy with Michael J. Fox in it.
Totally. You're like 14, 15 going, is that okay to say?
Yeah, what
try that in the real world.
Yeah. And the whole rape thing and
that is crazy. I never really thought about the rape angle of it, but it is pretty heinous, man, that dude is like, in the future he should be in jail.
Right.
In the alternate future, that dude should just be in jail.
And then it's a cuckold relationship. I'll bet you Biff, his whole job is to prep the bull. That's his punishment.
Like Marty's dad goes out to do the press tour for his new sci-fi book, and Biff comes in, and she's like, "It should have been you, Biff. Why did I marry that geeky loser?" There's a picture. There it is. Biff with the helmet.
With his helmet on.
Bionic Biff.
Getting arrested by future Nazi police or something. They look like SS.
What is that? Has like a flower pot on his head.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
awful.
Is that a helmet you can actually buy?
It's an egg.
You can buy that helmet?
It's an egg crate or something.
I remember when they started selling the jacket and the shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I would never wear it, but I kind of get it. But who would wear Biff's helmet?
Danny? Yes?
Somebody just yesterday, sent me a link to Marty's future jacket that he wears in 2015. Yes. It was a replica that some Chinese company makes. You could own it for $400.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
There have been people that have been lobbying, was it Reebok at the time?
Nike.
His futuristic Nikes, they've been lobbying them to make them available.
Yeah,
well,
they
had
them
They
in Fly
made
2015s.
That's incredible.
They actually made them. And
it's not even like, that doesn't commemorate Back to the Future.
No.
That commemorates Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, it's not even,
it's not even the one that everybody loves. It's the middle one where people are like, well, we'll forgive it a lot.
I love the fact that the future from Back to the Future is 6 years away. So they got to come up with flying cars.
A lot of stuff.
And that 3D Jaws, what was it? What number was it?
It was like 30.
Jaws 30 has to come out. They got to make all those Jaws. And
We're going to fall a bit short.
I think we're going to fall short
Just
as
a little
far as
bit.
Back to the Future's future.
With hoverboards?
Hoverboards,
Mr.
everything.
Fusion.
And they don't work on water. Why, Danny?
Because you need power.
Did you just audition for Kevin Smith? I think he auditioned for you, Kevin.
That is such an obscure, wonderful reference, man. Well done.
You have no idea.
That was so awesome.
We don't stop.
You have no
that
idea.
effing movie.
If your movie
You
was
love
about
it.
our show, it'd be called Zack and Miri Kill a Reference.
For everybody coming down to our Halloween party, there might be a little surprise.
Yes.
Involving my costume.
All right, very good.
Get out of here, really?
Look forward to it
Yeah.
because I am. That's for sure.
Kevin is enjoying this, but we'll check in another hour and a half when they continue.
Kevin's just.
I'm into
all
it.
right.
I could do for, I don't know if you ever listen to Spotcast. We talk about, we'll kill a subject as well, but
Are you
this is
saying-
one I could totally get behind. I
you
just wish
you
I
could
had
probably
watched.
do an entire show
Yes.
just based on Back to the
Absolutely.
Future?
If I
Like,
had
you'd be
enough
ripping us
time,
off.
if I had enough time to watch all three the night before,
Yeah.
we could easily kill
Dude,
a whole
we
show.
did
did
that.
it.
We
Did you?
it.
Well, we
They
did a
did a
Back to the
rated-
Future show where we actually watched the movie on the air and did a show just commenting about it.
We did
Well, that
commentary
might be a little much.
about the movie on the air. It was a Saturday night show. No one listens anyway.
All right.
And, just throwing in our own stuff, pausing it, just screwing around. But it was like, we're just, I don't know why, we're captivated with that effing movie.
The brother and sister from the first one,
yeah.
who don't wind up in 2 or 3, really.
Yeah, and
Family that mattered so much that just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, gone.
And in the alternate future, his sister is still heavyset.
Yeah, wouldn't they have told her perhaps? she would
Or
be
they had
fit?
ap enough money to do something.
And Jimmy
Get a
Olsen's got the
band
suit on.
around her stomach. Yes, Jimmy
well, the
Olsen's
car's
a
total.
businessman.
When the hell did this happen? Gets all upset. He's got to go to the office.
I have to agree with Darren in Jersey. I got to get him on the air. Darren, go ahead. I'm right there with you.
Hey, guys, listen, a few minutes ago you're talking about super hot Tracy Lords. I'm enjoying the conversation, thinking about a girl I used to scrap to years ago, and now we're talking about Michael J. Fox and Back to the Future.
We were so
You
close.
guys-
We were so close to hearing about Tracy Lords' ass, and then we're doing Back to the Future stuff.
When the hell did this happen?
I'm with you, Darren. I'm like, what happened to Tracy Lords? We were.
I'm with Tracy Lords. I'm like, I want to hear what happened with Tracy Lords. Did it get any or what?
Yeah.
Now you guys are talking about Back to the Future.
I would like to
I'll
know
put
what.
my copy of the Gray's Sports Almanac.
I have one thing to say to that to get us back on track.
All right.
You built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
We're done. We're done. We're done, Darren. Sorry.
I can't believe you whipped out the Gray's
Just got sent
almanac.
today. I got to thank my buddy here, who is Brian Rickers, sending something I finally will take home.